1 can of tomato paste costs about 70 cents. That same 70 cent can make as much ketchup as a $4 bottle of Heinz. Fresher, in under 10 minutes, from things already sitting in your cupboard. So today I'm going to show you how to make a full bottle's worth of ketchup that beats the squeeze bottle on flavor for well under $1 in ingredients, with the exact ratios for the classic red bottle taste. Plus, the one cheap add-in that turns it into the best spicy ketchup you've ever put on a fry. There's also a single ingredient hiding on the Heinz label under the words natural flavoring. Almost nobody guesses it. I'll name it before the end. And once you fold a version of it into your own batch, the store stuff starts tasting oddly flat. I've been making mine for 2 summers now. My fridge hasn't held a name brand bottle since, and I've got no plans to go back. Flip a standard bottle of Heinz around and actually read the order. Tomato, concentrate, vinegar, high fructose corn syrup, then a second corn syrup, and only after all of that do you reach the salt and the spice, 2 different sweeteners before you get to the seasoning. Tomatoes still outweigh everything. That part's genuinely true, and anyone telling you otherwise is selling you something. But the classic red bottle isn't sweetened with sugar the way most people picture. It runs on corn syrup in that Simply Heinz bottle sitting one shelf over, the one that feels like the responsible grown-up choice. Same skeleton, tomatoes, vinegar, a sweetener, a little spice. It just trades the corn syrup for cane sugar and charges you a bit more for the shorter ingredient list. You're paying a premium for a label that's easier to read, but the ingredient list isn't the reason I stopped buying it. I stopped because rebuilding the actual product at home turned out to be almost insulting in how easy it is. Ketchup is barely a recipe. It's a ratio. Tomato paste is embarrassingly simple stuff. Tomatoes cook down until the water is driven off, scooped into a can. The factory takes that paste, adds water back, pours an acid to make it tangy, sweetener to round it, salt to sharpen it, and a breath of warm spice so it tastes like ketchup instead of pizza sauce. That's the entire operation. When you do it yourself, you're just running those same steps in your own pot and stopping before anyone reaches for a second corn syrup. So let's build it. Empty a 6-ounce can of tomato paste into a small saucepan. Add half a cup of water and stir until it loosens into a smooth, glossy red. That water is your first lever. A little less gives you thick spoon-standing steakhouse ketchup. A little more gives you the pourable squeeze bottle kind. Start at half a cup and fine-tune at the very end, because thinning a sauce is easy and thickening one is a chore. Next, 3 tablespoons of vinegar. Apple cider. Vinegar gives a rounder, slightly fruity tang, and that's the one I reach for. Plain white vinegar is sharper and cleaner and lands closest to the Heinz you grew up on. So if nostalgia's the target, go white. This is the checkpoint most people rush past. The vinegar is the thing that makes ketchup taste like ketchup and not warm tomato sludge, so pick your lane on purpose. Now, 2 tablespoons of sweetener. Brown sugar leans deep and caramel, honey leans floral, maple leans autumn. 2 tablespoons sits right in the familiar zone. Want it pulled back? Drop to 1 and you've quietly made a lower sugar ketchup that didn't require a special bottle or a special price. Then the seasoning. And this is where homemade quietly laps the store. 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, and the piece almost everyone leaves out, a tiny pinch of ground allspice and an even tinier pinch of ground clove. That warm, barely there baking spice note is the ghost flavor your brain reads as real ketchup. Skip it and your sauce tastes homemade in the bad way. Add it and people can't work out why yours beats the bottle. Stir it together, bring it to a gentle simmer, and let it burble 5 to 8 minutes. That simmer isn't optional. It's doing 2 jobs at once, melting the spices in so nothing tastes gritty, and cooking the raw edge off the vinegar so the whole thing tastes finished instead of harsh. 5 minutes gets you there. 8 gives you something noticeably deeper. Longer than that, and you're just boiling off water you'll want back. So don't wander off. Quick one, since you're still here and clearly the type who reads the back of the bottle. If this is useful, a free subscribe genuinely helps the channel keep running. And if you want to go further, my channel members get extra recipes and breakdowns I don't post anywhere public. That's the whole plug. Back to the sauce. Now the twist I promised, and this is the one that starts fights at the dinner table. If you want spicy ketchup, the smoky, grown-up kind that makes people ask what you did, you don't reach for hot sauce. You reach for 1 chipotle pepper in adobo. It's a single smoked pepper sitting in a rusty red sauce, in a little can in the international aisle, costing you pennies. Drop 1 pepper plus a teaspoon of its sauce into your batch and blend it smooth. What comes out is heat, with a campfire behind it, the kind of ketchup that turns a plain burger into something you'd actually pay for. 1 pepper is a warm hum, 2 is a statement. The rest of the can freezes fine, so nothing's wasted. And here's the ingredient hiding behind Heinz's natural flavoring that I've been dangling. Part of that mystery note is exactly the warm spice you just added, the allspice and clove. But the professional secret, the thing restaurant cooks slip into their house ketchup, is a single splash of fish sauce or Worcestershire, half a teaspoon. You will not taste anything fishy, I promise. What you'll taste is depth, that hard-to-name, finished quality that sends you back for another fry without knowing why. That's umami, the same background richness that lives in Parmesan, in a good steak, in soy sauce. Half a teaspoon stirred into the simmer, and your under $1 batch crosses the line from good to genuinely better than the $4 bottle. Once you realize ketchup is just a base you control, you start seeing versions of it everywhere. In Germany, they stir curry powder and a pinch of smoked paprika straight into it and pour the result over sausage. Currywurst, an entire national obsession built on doctored ketchup. 2 teaspoons of curry powder into a batch of yours, and you've made something a street vendor in Berlin charges €4 a plate for. One last move that costs nothing. Hold back half a teaspoon of your vinegar and stir it in after you kill the heat, not during. Cooking mellows acid. That final cold splash snaps the brightness back to the front. It's the difference between flat and vivid. Let it cool, spoon it into any clean jar, and it keeps in the fridge about 3 weeks. Though in my house, it's never once survived that long. If this made you want to raid your own cupboard tonight, do me a favor and send it to the one person you know who's weirdly loyal to their ketchup brand. Give it a like, and I'll see you in the next one.